G'day guys, it's Duane here from the BBQ Store. I'm teaching you today how to put together the SSBBQHW, which is the stainless steel height adjustable barbecue that we have. One of our best sellers, and it does look intimidating at first, but you can have it together in less than 10 minutes. So all you need to start off with is pretty much a screwdriver and an Allen key that is provided. Make sure you've got a Phillips head. I prefer to have two, one for the longer side of things for those hard to reach screws, and a shorter one just to get a better tightness on everything. So let's break it all down and go from there. Okay, so let's quickly go through what parts you'll have in the box. First, you'll have two legs, and you'll also have the charcoal tray. You'll have 4 wheels, a back plate, 2 side supports for the charcoal tray. These might be actually attached to your legs section already, so please note if you don't find them, they should be attached there. You'll also get the lid, and then for the remaining parts, you'll also have 2 support structures which go along the base of the cart, and you'll also get 2 6mm grills, a handle, a charcoal tray, and the lever adjustment system. So let's go into how we actually put this together. So the first main step for when you're actually putting together this unit, you want to ensure that you've got your 2 main supports. Your 2 main supports are going to help support the grill later on and essentially build your cart. Ensure that these flaps here are located on the inside. I've got them upside down currently because we're going to put the other supporting legs on. Now you'll find that these parts in particular should already have your Phillips head screws in both sections there, and also the Allen key screws at the ends. So let's start off with one of the legs first. It doesn't really matter which side you put this on because they can be interchangeable. So let's start off with one of them. So we've got them here. This is the leg support. So this is the one without the handle. Again, it doesn't matter which side you have these on to start off with. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you remove your Allen key screws as well as your Phillips head screws when you're putting on one of the legs. So just do that to start off with. And again, I recommend having an elevated surface for this to make it a whole lot easier. And just hand tighten the Allen key screws for the time being. Right, so this lines up your framing. And what you'll find is that the other screws, where your Phillips head screws, they'll line up perfectly with some other screw holes on the legs themselves. This helps just secure everything down. And this seems to be the step that a lot of people miss. And now that we've got those screw holes lined up, we can line up the Phillips heads here. And just like that, I've only got them hand tightened for the time being, just so we've got a little bit of flexibility. And then what we want to do is we want to pop to the other side and repeat the process. Now that we've got the base pretty much put together, what we want to do is we want to get our Allen key or our screwdriver and then just tighten up those bolts. Brilliant. Now you've got your cart. So that makes it easy. Now, while we've got this upside down, I actually want to take the opportunity to introduce the wheels to it. So this is the easiest way to fix the wheels while it's in this position. So you may as well put them on at the same time. And then it allows you to essentially have the cart move around on wheels if you need to. And now what you'll find is that you'll have your cart ready to go. So what you can do is you can lock any of the wheels down if you need to keep it secure while going, so that way it doesn't move around while you're trying to add more parts to it. So at this stage, it is worth checking to make sure that your tabs are on the inside. Now you can see it here. I have the tabs on the inside. These are supporting the grills. It's important to make sure these are in the right spot before you proceed any further. And now we're going to add some more stability to our cart. You'll have 4 screw holes located on the back of the legs, and on the backboard you'll have conveniently 4 screw holes. What you want to do is you want to get your screws that you've got, and you'll essentially just want to secure it for the time being. Now what I find is doing the top screw first helps a bunch. Again, hand tighten until we get this all put on. Just hand tighten the screws. And I also ensure that that top flap as well is actually at the top of the barbecue. This helps keep the heat from escaping out the rear while you've got the barbecue in motion. And at this point you can tighten these screws with a screwdriver to just give that little bit more flexibility. So what you'll do is you'll find these screw notches located inside the unit. What these screw catches will do will prevent the tray from falling all the way through, and it does help when you're trying to do this next step. And what I want to also mention is that you may have these parts already in your legs. You can remove these for the time being. We'll be putting them straight back in. Now, using these screw catches, you can rest your charcoal tray here while we're doing the next step. All you need to do is maneuver your charcoal tray underneath and then catch it on top of the screw catches, so that way it sits there. So currently it'll just sit there. Now what you want to do is you want to essentially slide this section down so that it goes through the support holes here. There we go. Down here, slide them straight through those holes at the bottom. And then what you'll find is that these sections will actually marry up with the screw holes you find on the charcoal tray. Now at this stage you want to get your 4 remaining Phillips head screws and then just, again, hand tighten them on, just so it secures it in place. And this is where I find the long screwdriver comes in handy, because it's a little bit of a smaller space to tighten these screws into. And again, you'll want to repeat this on the same side, so let's do that now. And this is where you should be at with your cart. You should have your charcoal tray now secured. And now is probably, I'd say, probably the most confusing part of the actual installation. But once you know how to do the trick, it's pretty easy. Across this part, which is essentially the height adjustment mechanism. This is quite easy to install, but unless you know how to install it, it can be a bit tricky. Again, taking the height adjustment support, popping that underneath, and what you'll find is that it'll tuck underneath between the charcoal tray and that back plate. If you're having trouble accessing this, you can take the back plate off, but you'll find it's pretty easy once you line up the holes. So, and on the opposite side, you'll have the exact same setup. An Allen key catch, Allen key screw, tighten that in. And now you have your height adjustment support attached to the body. It is worth noting that you'll find this square attachment. This needs to be on the same side as your lever support. So this is where the lever will end up going into. So ensure that this square section is on this side. That's the easiest giveaway, is that you've got the lever section here. Just ensure that that side's on there. And lastly, you'll have a section that's loose, as well as more Allen key bolts. So with your Allen key bolt, lift this up and line it up with the charcoal tray. Again, leave this at hand tighten, because we can adjust everything later. Again, we'll repeat it on the opposite side. And there we are. So now I'm going to take the opportunity to tighten everything up. Right, height mechanism has been installed. Now the last major part that we need to do is you'll actually have your lever itself. Now this is very straightforward. You'll have a bolt with a nut on the end. Simply remove the bolt for the time being. And what you want to do is on your handle side, you'll notice that this square section has a bolt hole through it. Simply put your handle through at the lowest section. Simply drop your bolt in and then tighten it here on the end. Right. You can tighten that up with a wrench if you need to, if you seem to be moving your unit around a lot. And the best part is your height adjustment is now complete. That's as simple as that. So the height adjustment is now complete, and now everything else is just extras that you want to throw on. So let's quickly do that. Before operation, you want to ensure that your charcoal tray has been installed, because this will take a brunt of the heat, and ensure that your meal is cooked and not your unit. Then you've also got your 6mm stainless steel grills. They'll just sit nicely in there because we've got those supports from before. And then lastly, we've got the lid itself. So the lid is pretty straightforward. You should have a bag with some screws in the handle. Again, we've got our handle. I like to do one at a time, makes it a whole lot easier. Pop our screw through there. Washer on that side. And then nut on the other. And that's all that needs to be known about the SSBBQHW. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know in the comment section below, or just reach out to the BBQ store directly. And all you need at this stage is some charcoal and some meat. So happy grilling.